So I made a video a while back reviewing the McCulloch 1385 steamer, and I've been getting tons of questions over the past few months of, hey, is the steamer still a good purchase to make in 2020? Hey, do you still recommend that steamer? And in this video, the updated video, I just want to recap and see, do I still recommend the 1385 steamer? Should you buy it in 2020, or are there other better options or different alternatives that you can go with? So flat out, just to cut straight to the cheese, yes, I still do highly recommend the McCulloch 1385 steamer. This is actually my second unit now in the last 4-ish years. I buy it locally at Fry's for $200. You can order it online, but I still highly recommend it. I haven't used the smaller units like the 1320 or 1275, but they're super affordable. Like, this is $200, and for what you're buying, I think it's a great deal, and I still highly recommend it in 2020. So if you're thinking about getting one for your business, or you just want to steam your personal vehicle, I do recommend you so purchase it. Links will be down and below. Now, that doesn't mean this is like the grand steamer that everyone should get. I just recently received another steamer that costs they sent it to me for free, but they sent it to me, and that one cost $1,000. I had a VX5000 a few years ago that I purchased for $800, and it would run circles around the steamer, like, no question about it. Like, this steamer is still a cheap steamer compared to many other steamers on the market. That being said, I've done hundreds of vehicles with this steamer, and for me, I beat the living crap out of it. So because I went through two over the last 3-ish years, don't hold that against it, because I beat the crap out of it. Probably more so than your average, definitely more so than your average person, and definitely more so than your already high output person. Like, I really beat the crap out of this. So don't hold that against it. But it's not the best by any means. It's still plastic. Hose is cheap. The PSI isn't that strong. That always happens when you have to press the trigger a few times to get the water that's no longer steam in there. You see that? And then the steam comes out. You have to do that, so that's very annoying. The size, I think, is like a gallon, I think, that it holds in there. It's not a continuous refill, so you will have to turn off the machine, release the pressure, then fill it up, then wait for it to heat up. It does take a while for it to heat up. It'll go like, it'll heat up, you press the trigger, then it depressurizes, then it has to heat up again. So the time, I think now it takes like 12 to 15 minutes, I think, for it to heat up. That's quite a bit of time. But the good thing, though, is that it doesn't need that much power. Like the VX5000, like any of those higher grade steamers, they require a lot more power to run them. So it's much more frequent, and it's happened to me, that like you'll break a breaker. What's it called? You'll trip a breaker. Because it's requiring too much power. Even on the generator that I use on that other steamer that I have, the Vapor Clean, it's still like almost pushing its limits, pushing the generator's limits on what it can handle. So with this one, you'll never have to worry about overpowering anything. But I can still only run this on the generator. Like, I can't run this and my vacuum. They both just require too much power. So I still run this at just one at a time. And if I do have to use the extractor and the steamer, I will. And it seems very cumbersome, because it kind of is, but it's still very doable, where you literally, I extract, turn off the extractor, turn on the steamer, steam, turn off the steamer, turn on the extractor. It sounds very cumbersome, but since like if I'm working, it is cumbersome, but that's how I get it done, just because my generator won't be able to handle both things running at full temp for the duration of the cleaning. So let me show you. This door panel isn't dirty at all. I'm using APC and just wiping it down with a towel, but you could use a steamer to do that and not use any chemicals. Now, because it's been a minute or so since I've last pulled the trigger, before I spray it here, I have to make sure I always point away from the vehicle and check to make sure that the steam's coming out and not just water. You see, that was a lot of water coming out. So now it's actual steam. So now this is great here. Like, I use it on so many interiors. And trust me, I've done literally all types of interiors. So if you think it's not gonna handle your interior, I can 1000% assure you that you're wrong, because I've used this on the trashed, most nastiest interiors, and it gets the job done. Also for here, like I would easily just like get the oh, I don't want any drips fall, but so you can still like I could use it for this. Like there's not much going on here. Get the dust out and such. Hopefully this blender still. So there's a little bit of dirt right here, so I can blow that out. Other than that, there's nothing here, but you could like, instead of using chemicals, you could just do this thing, because it is just a light wipe down. And then you still have to come back with your towel. And anyhow, so you can wipe it down, and this is good again, like for just doing a quick maintenance. That was great. I would probably never turn on the steamer just to do a maintenance cleaning. I'm still doing the full interior cleaning on the seats and such. But since I have the steamer here, I could use it for that instead of just using the chemical, which they're both going to give me the same results because these door panels are not dirty at all. And then you'll just take a brush and make sure you get all the any like leftover residue of the steam in there. This is the dry brush, and just like that, it's all done, and you don't have to use any chemicals. Now, am I gonna recommend you do the wheels with this? Am I gonna recommend you use this on the engine bay? That is definitely pushing the limits because not much PSI is coming out of that anyways. So I mean, on the engine bay, depending on what you're cleaning, sure, not the whole thing, maybe like a few tidbits here and there, depending on what's needed, and like what what you're working on. But I wouldn't be like, hey, yeah, clean the wheels with this, clean the engine bay with this. I would 100% recommend this for the interior. So for like door panels, for cloth seats, for fabrics, for just using the steam to get in those real tight areas, that's what I definitely recommend it for. It'll do a great job. Again, you have to know what you're purchasing for $200. You're not gonna get this premium, top tier, world class, best of its class, can compete with other big dogs. No, it's $200. Like, but it's great. Again, as much as I'm like downing it or dogging it, I've used it on hundreds of interiors already. And I would still even recommend the lower version, the 1275, I think, which is like 114, 125, because I personally have used it. I've seen other detailers use it, and it's working great. So, and that's the thing, like I don't put too much emphasis on like what tool, because like whether you give me this steamer or the VX5000 or the Vapor Clean or the whatever steamer, I'm gonna get it done because I know how I need to use the tool to get the job done. And that's really it. Like, if you're waiting for that next level, I need to spend $1,000 on the steamer, well then, you're not gonna get the results that you want, even if you're gonna wait for that steamer, because you just don't know how to use what you're gonna use. I mean, I've used it on carpets. I've used it to clean up the stitching of leather seats. I mean, I still use it for the center consoles, for the dashboard, for cleaning rails, for cleaning crayon marks, for cleaning gum and crayons. Like I use this steamer for all of that. So do I still recommend it in 2020? Absolutely yes. For the price points, it's not expensive. It's very affordable for what you get. And again, I personally haven't had any issues with it, like any problems of it not working, or the cord or the steam. Like I have no problems, other than like I beat the crap out of it. So anything that does happen to it, it's probably my fault because I probably didn't take care of it. And also, I don't use distilled water. It's just tap water. I just use tap water. Maybe I could extend the life of it if I use distilled water, but for the amount of cars that I get through with it, like it's really not a big deal for me to use it for 2 years or a year and a half and then buy another one, because I make my money back with the steamer within like 3 months of like using the steam. Not even 3 months. When I'm talking, like, much shorter time frame than that. So I have no. I'm looking at the steamer right now, but I get it. Like if you're seeing a lot less cars, or if you're just as a personal one, it's gonna last you a while. I mean, like I've done literally hundreds of interiors with the same steamer over and over and over. And also another great point, which I don't have a video on it, but it saved me so much on this one detail, is when there was overspray on this Mini Cooper S and on the exterior plastic trim, and I tried claying, I tried chemically removing it, I tried everything that I could. I tried picking at it with like a little dental thing, with a bristle brush. Nothing was working. And then I turned on the steamer, put on the triangle head attachment, and I steamed the trim, and it came off, and it helped me out so much. I've never had to do that since then, but that's also something else I recommend. If like it gets real weird, no, you have to try something different. The steamer on the trim with the brush attachment to remove overspray helped out a lot. But yeah, I highly recommend the steamer. So that's gonna wrap it up right there. Let me know if you have any comments, questions, concerns. Again, the links to the steamer will be down below, and if you're interested in starting your business, we'll have some guides down below to check out as well. Follow me on IG as I'm posting a lot. It's at @DetailGroove. I'm posting a lot of content over there actually, so let me know your thoughts, questions. If you want to know anything else about the McCulloch, leave it down below. I try to get to them as best as I can, or send me a DM on Instagram, and I will see you on the next video.